All right, out of turn 4. Let's try it again. Kevin Swindell on the bottom of the racetrack. Kyle Larson up top, and Bryan still 2x2 when they get in front of us here for the first time.
And this start much better for Sammy as he is into third place and now trying to work underneath Kyle Larson. He gets the positions. It's Swindell's 1-2, Kevin and Sammy, followed by Kyle Larson, Cory Kruseman, and Danny Stratton.
So your 4 preliminary night winners remain in the top 4 here through 2 laps. Sammy down on the bottom chasing his son Kevin. Kevin showed the ability to run the top and the bottom. Sammy, I don't think he's left the bottom all week, Bryan.
No, he really didn't. And Kruseman now under challenge from Kyle Larson.
Clauson getting it going on the high side as well. He's moving up here quickly through the field. Up into 9th now for Bryan Clauson as he goes to work on Shane Cottle.
Clauson wanted a few guys running pretty much to cushion all the way around the track here. So
he's going to have to give up on it here in a minute.
Yeah, it's starting not to work, but if he gets a good lap or two, he may be able to clear a couple cars. And
so laps quickly in the books. 5 down now for Kevin Swindell. Sammy second. Kruseman, Larson, Stratton, Cottle, Sweet, Clauson, Pickens, Stenhouse, Tony Stewart, Shuman now into the 12th spot.
Clauson does a good job bringing it down to the bottom, changes his line, holding down the 8th position.
Well, you talked about it, or Cory Kruseman talked about it. He's just going to go out, cruise around, get some laps, and do his racing later in the race. And that's definitely what it appears to be happening here at the front of the field, Bryan.
Move Clauson up to 7th, and now challenging Cottle for 6th.
Yes, I say that's at the front. Bryan Clauson's not using that strategy. He's trying to get to the front, but looking at your leaders, it's still just Kevin leading. Now he moves to the high side, and Sammy's still running second, about 10 car lengths back to the 3rd place car.
Yeah, and Cory Kruseman still holding down the 3rd position. Kyle Larson 4th, and now Clauson all over the back of Cottle. He's about to move into the top 5.
Well, and one really has to wonder how hard Sammy Swindell is going to go after Kevin here in this as they're out in front. Kruseman still running in the 3rd spot. Lap traffic coming into play here as we've now got 11 laps in the books.
Yes, they should be entering lap traffic here in about the next half a lap. Those cars include Bud Kading, AJ Fike, Rico Abreu. Those will be the first 3 cars that Kevin Swindell will have to navigate.
Yeah, and if you're Sammy, Kevin, Amy Swindell, or a fan of the family, you'd like to see the yellow lights come on right now as just now catching lap traffic.
And Cory Kruseman is close to about a car length of Sammy Swindell as it's a 3-car breakaway.
And once again, your race leaders out of turn number 4. Laps going in here quickly. Already 14 laps in the books. And lap traffic, Kevin Swindell lapping some fast cars here as Bud Kading goes a lap down to Kevin.
Here comes Sammy.
And just like that, Bud Kading now problems over in turn number 4 and went a lap down, and then a gift to the Swindells brings out the yellow flag. 14 laps on the scoreboard, not 15, so 14 down for Kevin Swindell. Leads his father, Cory Kruseman, Larson, and Cottle back to the green flag. And your leaders back to the bottom.
Kruseman goes up to the top while the Swindells hug the bottom. Kruseman with a good run. It's going to take a while up there.
And we'll see if Kruseman can hold off Kyle Larson. Larson remains on the bottom. He's got 3rd momentarily from Kruseman. Cory, though, determined to make the top work.
Yep, Sammy pushes there a little, allowing bottling up Larson. And now Larson moves up to the top in front of Cory Kruseman.
Yeah, this will get good now as Larson used the bottom to get to 3rd. We'll see if he can use the top to get to 2nd. And here comes Clauson again, pounding the cushion.
Bryan Clauson doing a good job trying to get around Kruseman.
Shane Cottle. Haven't talked much about him, but he's right in this mix for 3rd, 4th, and 5th as well. Danny Stratton now goes upstairs. Seems, Bryan, everybody goes up there for a lap, tries it, just hoping there'll be something up there.
Yeah, the track definitely has become around the bottom there. And now really Larson, the only one working the top of some success, and the Swindells begin to pull away as the rest of the field runs the high side.
Well, Bryan Clauson now up into the 5th spot as he chases Kruseman. Shane Cottle 6th, Pickens 7th, Stratton 8th, Sweet 9th. And Tony Stewart, Meyer back in 10th. Tony Stewart really not going anywhere, just kind of holding around the top 10.
Kyle Larson putting a little distance between him and Kruseman here.
Yeah, Kruseman now dropping back into 5th. As Clauson moves up, and now Cottle underneath Kruseman.
Yeah, Kruseman dropping back here as he's running the high side of the racetrack. And Clauson now solidly into fourth. We haven't talked about the Swindells. That's because they're way out in front by themselves. About 10 car lengths back to the third place car of Kyle Larson.
Now Larson on the bottom. Clauson brings it to the bottom. Kruseman still up top.
Michael Pickens, Danny Stratton, a little contact as those two rim riders going at it around the high side. Pickens and Stratton, very entertaining racing.
And now Sammy closes up on the back of Kevin. 24 complete, 30 to go next time by. And in about a lap and a half or so, they should be into some lap traffic. Once again, they'll be looking at the 3 into 2 of Fike and Katie.
That last lap was the first lap that Sammy tried the high side down in 1 and 2.
Here he goes out of turn number 2. Sammy going to try the top down the back straightaway. Taking a look at Kevin. We'll give you the lineup now on lap 26 as we near the halfway point. It's Kevin Swindell, Sammy Swindell, Kyle Larson, Clauson, Kruseman, Sweet, Cottle, Stewart, Hines, Stratton now 10th, Daum, Armstrong, Pickens, Coons, Stenhouse, Hagen, Kuhn, Shuman, Vanderweerd, Abreu, Knepper-Kading, Fike.
And now Kevin goes up on the top. His father, Sammy, right behind him, as now they will begin negotiating lap traffic down the back straightaway.
Going to get good now in heavy lap traffic for the Swindells. And again, we've been leaving the lap cars in place throughout the week. Something to keep in mind if a yellow flag does come out here. If one of the Swindells has cleared a lap car that Larson or one of the other cars is not, in all likelihood, they'll stay in that position.
And so it is Kevin Swindell on the high side. He has just lapped Nick Knepper. Next, he is going to be going, and A.J. Fike pulls the 3 into the infield.
Kyle Larson closing in on Sammy Swindell. Took a look at him on the high side. Sammy back on the bottom of the racetrack. And 2 lap cars now separate Kevin from Sammy. 30 laps in, now 31 for Kevin Swindell.
Kyle Larson continues to close up on the back of Sammy Swindell.
And Kevin running the bottom, trying to get around a couple of lap cars.
Oh, Clauson way up over the cushion on that lap. Running
Clauson,
in fourth.
Is Clauson still fourth? Kruseman back to fifth. Sweet sixth. Tony Stewart up to the 7th spot. He and Danny Stratton having a nice battle for 7th and 8th. Long green flag runs here, guys, in this one. Not quite what we expected. Usually we see a lot of caution throughout the big main event.
So Kevin Swindell with about a 6-car length lead and 2 lap cars between himself and Sammy.
Yeah, Kevin with actually there's now 3 lap cars between himself and his father. Boy, a yellow flag here would really make it interesting. Sammy trying to work his way through, now puts 2 between himself and the 3rd place car of Kyle Larson. So down the back stretch, Kevin Swindell still your race leader. Sammy now working through the lap cars. And 1 more to get, and he will have a clear track between himself and his son Kevin.
And Kyle Larson now struggling with lap traffic.
So Kevin, Sammy, Larson, Clauson, Kruseman, your top 5. Brad Sweet, Danny Stratton, Tony Stewart, Jerry Coons Jr. up from the back to 9th. Tracy Hines rounds out your top 10.
Swindell now bottled up in traffic.
Nearing lap 40, just 15 to go here shortly.
As he is now about to lap the 16th place running Brad Kuhn.
So a lot of cars, not much attrition yet, Brian, but a lot of cars going a lap down with these long green flag runs.
Yes, and Brad Kuhn, as we mentioned, in 16th would be the next car to be lapped.
Well, it's been all Swindells. We haven't talked about anybody else at the front of the field because they haven't seen the front of the field. Kyle Larson is straightaway back with a couple of lap cars. Kevin leads, Sammy right behind him on the bottom, and then 3 lap cars separating them from Larson.
Yeah, but a lot of heavy lap cars. It's Cottle, Pickens, Armstrong, and Kuhn. Those are the next cars that Swindell's going to have to lap.
Jerry Coons Jr. quietly working his way through the field up into the 8th spot now as he moves Tony Stewart back to 9th. So Jerry Coons Jr. on the move. He pulls up now behind the 21K of Cory Kruseman, who slipped back into 7th.
Here comes Sammy trying to look underneath Kevin as he's bottled up in lap traffic.
Yeah, heavy lap traffic for the Swindells. Down the back straightaway now. Kevin just gets back to the bottom to block his dad on the bottom for the lead. 44 now in, 11 remain.
As they're now lapping Shane Cottle. Kevin on the high side, Sammy on the bottom. Sammy's going to have to go to the top.
Sammy to the high side. Kevin now puts Cottle between himself and Swindell for the time being. Sammy remains on the high side. Bryan can't get around Cottle.
No, but Kyle Larson solidly in third all by himself. And it's still Kevin Swindell cannot get around Pickens and Brad Kuhn.
Yeah, Kyle Larson has 4 lap cars between himself and Brian Clauson. Danny Stratton now up into the top 5. Stratton doing a nice job. He's actually closing in closely here behind Brian Clauson.
Well, what a job by Stratton.
Brad Sweet 6th, Kruseman 7th, then Jerry Coons Jr. and Tony Stewart continue to battle for 8th and 9th.
And now Sammy goes up to the top. Gardner, contact between Sammy and Gardner. Kevin Swindell still trying to clear Brad Kuhn and Darren Hagen. Sammy on the bottom. Kevin Swindell stuck on top. 6 to go.
Lap number 49. This would have been the white flag lap. We're going 55 tonight in tribute to Donnie Ray Crawford, his old number. And it's going to be a furious 5 for the Swindells. Kevin continues to lead, now puts a lap car between himself and Sammy Swindell. Kevin on the top, here comes Sammy on the bottom, trying to use the lap cars. Brad Kuhn about to go a lap down, right in the mix.
Yeah, it's getting dusty out there, so it's tough to see down in the corners.
Yes, these long green flag runs we've been going since back on lap number 14, now lap 52 in the book.
Sammy into the wall.
Sammy into the wall, continues underway. Sammy, what a move. Kevin Swindell still leads. Sammy still second. Kyle Larson too far back to capitalize, Bryan.
Yes. I don't know how he saved that.
2 to go. 2 to go for what would truly be historic. Kevin Swindell trying for the three-peat here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. White flag is out.
And Kyle Larson, oh, that's Rico Abreu, sorry, with Swindell.
Down the back straightaway, here comes Kevin Swindell. One final time through 3 and 4 heavy lap traffic. It will not matter. Double checkered flags. Kevin Swindell wins his 3rd consecutive Lucas Oil Chili Bowl Midget Nationals. Wow.